Jeff Griffith checking in here at the annual meetings where core housing has been a major topic of discussion. I'm here with Jim Paxton, DCI Core Housing Assistant Manager. Jim, what's some of the work that you guys do as far as finding housing for the cores?
Well, Jeff Cox, who is the manager for core housing, and we've added a third person this year, Mike File, who will be helping us part-time this year. We start reaching out to high schools, colleges, universities, back actually in the fall for the tour events. And as the tour events actually go online ticketing, we actually then reach out and try to confirm sites. We're looking for places for the cores to sleep, to shower, and rehearse. So, for example, during the week of championships, we're not just looking for 22 sites for world-class cores. We're looking for 36 sites because some of the places where they stay, they can't rehearse. So we have to also find rehearsal sites. For 2020, we're looking at 350 plus housing sites for the season.
Yeah, the one thing we hear a lot of at these meetings is just the difficulty and how much more difficult it's gotten in recent years to do this core housing process. What are some of the challenges you guys tend to face as you look for core housing?
Well, for one thing, liability issues. The school divisions are concerned about opening themselves up to us. Every core carries a certificate of insurance naming the school division as an additional insured. Typical amounts are $1 million, $3 million aggregate. So that's an issue. Looking for places that have working showers. So many times now, students are not taking showers in the school, so they use them as storage rooms. They don't use them at all. So when we go in, they have to move things out, and unbeknownst to us, the drains have kind of frozen up, or the hot water is no longer working. So that's an issue. There are numerous things, travel sites, school opening earlier and earlier. That's a big issue, especially later in the season. Starting with Atlanta on to the end of the season, we're dealing with schools being in session while we're actually trying to be there. And we've got several school divisions here locally in Indy that work real well with us for housing and coexisting. And then there's some school divisions say, no, it's just too much of an inconvenience. So, and we recognize, we're asking a lot. We're asking for a place for 160 students and members to sleep, another 50 to 60 adults showering, rehearsing, and we're using athletic facilities. We're using the football team's practice fields and stadium. We're using the showers and things. So really, when you go into a school, you're asking more to use the athletic facilities than you are, for example, the music facilities.
Now, we talk often about schools for housing, but there's other forms of housing we can find for cores. What do some of those look like?
Well, we've used 4-H camps. We've used FFA's leadership camp here in Indianapolis. We also have used YMCA camps, colleges and universities. And we do run into some issues at colleges that don't allow food service. You have to go through them. And of course, all of our groups feed themselves. So that can be a challenge. But we do use other places.
And then as far as looking at the 2020 tour, what are some areas in particular that we're kind of needing to find some spots for housing cores, and how can just anyone get involved to help with that effort?
Sure. Well, we have several new shows in Texas that we'll be looking for sites. Corpus Christi is one. McKinney, Texas is the other one. We do have a local show organization committee that will be working with us on that. But if there's someone in the area that, in those particular areas, that would love to house a core, obviously it would be great. Allentown is always a challenge. It's late in the year. It's right before championships. Schools are starting the next week. So if there's someone there who would like to house, obviously that would be great. They can contact myself, Jim Paxton, at the office. They can get in touch with me there. Jeff Cox is another one, or Mike Fowle, obviously.
Well, Jim, thanks for all that information and for taking the time to talk with us. Like you said, if you're looking to get involved with housing, contact any of these three guys and they can get you involved. Looking forward to the 2020 tour.
Hey, Dan Potter.
And Jeff Griffith with the DCI News Network.
From the rules proposals to the Drum Major Leadership Summit, we are covering it all at the Drum Corps International Winter Meetings.
Yeah, you can follow along on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and of course, our website, dci.org.
Make sure you leave us your comments and join in the conversation.